So my in industry, as I told you previously, we were working on RDS or relational database. But over the time, a new database came in the picture that is called NoSQL database. Okay, so NoSQL database is basically where you don't have to preserve the schema or preserve the structure of the data. Okay, and it is the each entity, each record is independent. Okay, that's a NoSQL database. Now, if in industry, if NoSQL database are been used, that means you have to support that. So for Amazon, if a client is coming and they are previously using NoSQL database, so they should provide some feature, right? They should have their out of the box database available which should support NoSQL database. If Amazon is not supporting NoSQL database, then if a company which is potentially running everything on NoSQL database will not adopt Amazon, right? So make it more adaptation. Amazon came up with its own database. It's called Dynamodb. So there are open source NoSQL database available in the market. You can choose. You can install on your EC2 machine. It's your choice. But Amazon has came up with a new service called Dynamodb. It is a serverless. You don't have to worry about underlying hardware. You just have to use it. For usage purpose, DynamoDB is very simple. Okay, but how can we, what is the property? We are going to learn about it. So in interviews, many companies do ask about DynamoDB. If you have worked on DynamoDB, how data are stored in DynamoDB, or properties of that. But as a usage, it's very easy. It has a use theory, but for usage, it's very easy. So what is DynamoDB? Basics of it, advanced. So these are the two important things which you have to learn. Advanced, we can go with it, but the basics you have to understand. Backup and restoration security, similar to any other database which we have learned till now. Now, what is DynamoDB? DynamoDB is the fast and flexible NoSQL database. Again, I am highlighting it's a NoSQL database service for all applications that need consistency, single digit millisecond latency at any scale. It's very fast. DynamoDB enables customer to offload the administrative burden of operating and scaling distributed database to AWS so that you don't have to worry about hardware provisioning, setup, configuration, throughput, capacity planning, replication, software patching, cluster scaling and anything. वही जो भी आपको अंडरलाइन हार्डवेयर मेंटेन करने का टेंशन था वो सारा अमेजोन ने ले लिया है. So you just have to go and use it. That's it. कैसे काम करता है, कैसे नहीं करता, कहाँ पे डेटा स्टोर करता है, क्यों करता है, एवरीथिंग इज मैनेज बाय अमेजोन. बैकअप, रिस्टोरेशन, कैपेसिटी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, system patching, everything is managed by Amazon. You just have to use it. It is a fully managed database and support both documents and key value models, JSON, HTML, XML. So you can have these are the file format for non-structural data. It's flexible. So हमने उस दिन JSON देखा था, key value pair. Okay, even HTML, if you open any HTML file, there is some, what is the major difference between structural and non-structural database? Structural database में schema fix रहता है. अगर आप XML देखो, HTML देखोगे, कोई भी किसी भी फाइल का HTML देखना कभी, तो उसमें एक पैटर्न रहता है पर फिक्स नहीं रहता. सो ऐसा पैटर्न रहता है कोई भी HTML फाइल है, राइट? सो आई कैन रीयूज दिस थिंग अगेन एंड अगेन, राइट? अगर मैं इसको ओपन करता हूँ सो ऐसा कुछ दिखेगा, राइट? बट देयर इज नॉट प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर इस फाइल का अभी मैंने 4-5 लाइन लिखी है, the other person in the body can write n number of line, right? It's not proper, or it's a not uniform, but it do have a some structure. So this type of files are called semi structural file. आपके एक्सेल तो प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर में होते हैं, इट हैज अ प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर, बट JSON, HTML, XML, they are not completely structural, or they are not completely unstructured. That's why they are called, these are called semi structural file, semi structural files. And that's why DynamoDB is also called a semi structural database or NoSQL database. So it gives you flexibility with data modeling and reliable performance, make it great fit for mobile, web, game application, edtech, IoT, and many other application. So when you are working with NoSQL database in industry, you will understand the importance of DynamoDB. So this type of data you can store in DynamoDB. Now basics of DynamoDB. So before going to the basics or in depth of the property, let me go and create and show you how can you create the DynamoDB database. So just type DynamoDB. Okay. So if you are a first time, this is how your dashboard will look like. You will go to the dashboard, click on tables. So here the best thing is about DynamoDB is you don't have to create a database. आपको database create करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You just have to create a table and store the data. और उसके भी charges नहीं लगते. Data storage बहुत कम charges लगते हैं. It's very low charges, and only the charge you will get is for use the database, use the table. That's it. So right now here itself, okay, just like RD, unlike the RDS में क्या होता है, आप डेटाबेस बनाते हो फिर उसमें लॉग इन करते हो थर्ड पार्टी से या EC2 मशीन से, राइट? हियर कुछ भी नहीं है. Here don't have to worry about login. So here directly GUI is provided, complete GUI is provided. So just create a table, give any name, let's say student info. Okay, now only thing which is required is a primary key or a partition key here. Okay, one primary key, you can see the word primary key. So let's say roll number is a primary key, right? For any student in your college, you have seen the roll number are quite primary key, a unique key. Apart from that, keep everything default. I'm not sure, there are some custom settings, but right now you can keep everything default and just save it. Just create the table. That's it, your table is been created. Right now, give it 2 minutes, it's ready. Now click on the explore item, click on students. So explore item, okay, explore item is basically where the data stores. So you can see item return here in DynamoDB. Each record is called item, each entity is called item. So let's enter one value. Now you can see it is asking me the roll number, so I can enter roll number as 1. And apart from that, you can enter anything which you want to, like name. I will enter my name, comma, you have to write in quotes, huh? Right? So I'm just writing this thing, simple. Or if you want, you can add class, ninth. Okay, so you can see I have entered a value, roll number, class, name, and surname. Now if you want to enter any other value, you can enter 2. Again, name, Ram. But here you don't want to enter the surname, you just want to enter the class. Ram is in ninth class or so, fourth class. That's it. You don't want to enter comma surname. So now you can see here Ram, there is no value. Even it is not null as well. Each record will have its own entity. In third case, you can enter 3. You can just enter name. Rahul, that's it. You just have, so each record has different values. Here it is showing structural क्योंकि ये GUI बनाया Amazon ने आपके लिए. But each record जो स्टोर हो रहा है यहाँ पे सिर्फ 2 ही वैल्यू है, यहाँ पे सिर्फ 3 वैल्यू है और एक दूसरे से प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं क्रिएट करते. The only thing you have to pass is roll number. If you are just passing roll number 6, it will create an entry. बाकी कोई चीज की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Only you have to pass the primary key. That's it. If you are not passing the primary key, it will give an error. So you can see create. No. Give the primary key. Okay. And if you are try to writing again, overriding the existing one, it will give the error that primary key already exists. So आप नया नहीं बना सकते. You can edit the existing one, but you can create the new one. So primary key is important in NoSQL database. Any question on this as of now? Now here I don't have to worry about creating the table. मैं इसको छोड़ भी दूंगा तो मेरे को चार्ज नहीं लगने वाले. The best thing about DynamoDB is that you can see the if you I go to the update settings, click here. Okay. So how much data I have saved till now? Less than 1 KB. Okay. अभी तक 3-4 रिकॉर्ड किया तो 1 KB 2 KB का डेटा स्टोर किया. So you are just getting charged for data you store, and the time you read the data and write the data. So जितनी बार read and write करेंगे उसके charges लगते हैं. अगर आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे, if you are not doing anything with the data, your data is rest, so उसका minimum 10 रुपए 20 रुपए लगेगा. That's it. You don't have to worry about the underlying storage, underlying hardware, anything. And you can directly access the data from console, and you can integrate with your application. That's the beauty about DynamoDB, and it's very fast. So here I will give an example. In my company, we are storing millions of record in DynamoDB, and it gives, if I search anything in DynamoDB, it gives within seconds. It returns the request within seconds. Yes. Anybody has any question? Okay. So if I leave this table, it will not charge me anything. अगर आप फ्री टायर में हो या नहीं हो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. ठीक है? So similar to any other database, there are some backups. There you can create monitoring. ये सब monitoring वगैरह out of the box available है. You have backups. You can enable backup, point in recovery time, and additional settings. There are some more advanced settings are available in DynamoDB. Now coming to the next part is go to tables, create table. So now you can see there are 2 options. One is primary key. Primary key is divided into 2 parts. One is partition key and one is sort key. So what is partition key? What is sort key? When to use both these things scenario? Let's understand. Okay, so let's go to basics of DynamoDB. So DynamoDB table. In DynamoDB, we have tables, we have item, we have attributes are the core component. A table is a collection of item and each item is collection of attributes. That means जो हमने यहाँ पे अभी टेबल बनाया था, export item, click on the data. This individual, each cell is called attribute. So name Rahul, Rahul is attribute, Parag is attribute, class 9 is attribute. Okay, so collection of attribute create one item. So this is one item. This is one item. Okay, this is one item. Right. So here I think the next there was a mapping. Okay, not here in the first slide in the previous PPT, other PPT. So tables, inside table there are items. Item means row. If you want to compare it with traditional database, it is row, and collection it is we will call cell. So Excel में आपने देखा है यहाँ पे इसको आप cell कहते हो, यहाँ पे उसको क्या क्या yes, here we call it attribute, and collection of cells वहाँ पे row बोलते थे हम लोग, यहाँ पे हम लोग item बोल रहे हैं. Okay, and collection of items वहाँ पे टेबल बोलते थे, कलेक्शन ऑफ रोज वहाँ पे टेबल बोलते हैं, यहाँ पे भी टेबल ही बोलते हैं, कलेक्शन ऑफ आइटम्स. Okay, now again your data is stored on SSD, solid. Yes. कॉलम नहीं होता ना इसमें, प्रॉब्लम यही है ना. columns if define if they have same values, right? Right, all this thing here will not will not ask him the column. Mm, right, attribute, attributes, right. So that's why I'm calling it a cell value here. This is one attribute, this is another attribute, this is the other attribute. So you can see the attributes, the word here. So collection of attribute is one item. So you can see item here like that. Okay. Your data is stored on SSD. Automatically replicate across multiple availability zone in a given region. Provide inbuilt high availability and data durability. So ये डेटा कैसे स्टोर हो रहा है आपको चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट इट इज replicated across multiple availability zone within the region. Okay, it's not a single it's not a single region application. आपका डेटा एक जगह स्टोर नहीं हो रहा, मल्टी रीजन है, जस्ट लाइक S3. EC2 RDS machine, they are your database you are creating on a single availability zone, क्योंकि हार्डवेयर एक जगह होता है. Here Amazon is not telling you where the hardware is. You just have to focus on using the database. Now eventual consistency and strong consistency, we have talked about consistency, I will talk about a little more, but we have talked about our consistency in detail previously. So eventual consistency, so that while reading and writing the data there will be a little difference, little delay. अगर आप कोई चीज अपडेट करते हो, if you are creating a new thing, new entry, and you read it immediately, you will get the latest information. But if you are updating anything or if you are deleting anything and try to read it again, you might get the old data. Remember हमने consistency के बारे में बात किया था कि वो replicate होगा multiple availability zone में. So that's the eventual consistency, a little delay. So it provides the best performance. So that is the eventual consistency. Consistency across all copies of data is usually reached within the seconds. Repeating a read after a short time should return a update. So स्मॉल, अगर आप कुछ चीज़ अपडेट कर रहे हो, कुछ डिलीट कर रहे हो, लिटिल डिले के बाद तो वो डेफिनेटली विल गिव द लेटेस्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन, बट देयर इज ऑप्शन कॉल्ड स्ट्रॉन्ग कंसिस्टेंसी। थोड़ा पैसा अमेजोन को और दो, अमेजोन विल प्रोवाइड द स्ट्रॉन्ग कंसिस्टेंसी। A strong consistent return a result that reflect all the writes that receive successfully response prior to the read। जैसे आपने राइट कर दिया, अगर आप इमीडिएटली रीड कर रहे हो, चाहे अपडेट हो, डिलीट हो या न्यू रिकॉर्ड हो, और रीड कर रहे हो, सो वो आपको इमीडिएटली देगा। ओके, सो अमेजोन को थोड़ा पैसा दो, वो आपको स्ट्रॉन्ग कंसिस्टेंसी भी प्रोवाइड करेगा। You have options. Now coming to ACID transactions. How many of you know what is ACID transactions? Okay, so in industry, when you're working with any database, so okay, how many of you know how banks are doing transactions? चलो, मैंने किसी को पैसा देना है, I want to transfer the money from my account to another account using Paytm app. So how system will work? So let's say this is a customer A, या मेरा account है, पराग बैंक अकाउंट। ओके, ठीक है, और ये कौन सी बैंक में? बैंक ए। दिस इज बैंक ए। बैंक बी, आई वांट टू ट्रांसफर द मनी टू माय फ्रेंड राहुल, बैंक अकाउंट। ओके, सो आप क्या करते हो जनरली? आपका अकाउंट होगा, लेट्स से आपका जो अकाउंट है, आपका टेबल है, आपका इंडिविजुअल टेबल है हर बंदे का, जहाँ पे आपके बैलेंस शीट रहती है, अकाउंट का इंफॉर्मेशन रहती है, राइट? आपने यहाँ से यहाँ ट्रांसफर करना है, तो क्या होता है, आपके अकाउंट में अगर 100 रुपए पड़े हुए हैं, सो व्हाट यू डू, 100, and you transfer let's say 20 rupees. So what is the remaining balance after transaction should be 80। राहुल के अकाउंट में अभी सिर्फ 5 रुपए पड़े हुए थे, and you have transferred 20 rupees. So what will the balance now? 25 rupees। ऐसा दिखना चाहिए स्टेटमेंट्स में, yes or no? But actually, are you transferring the amount directly to Rahul bank account? What do you think? Answer is no. This is your table. When you transfer your amount from your account to another account, if it's a different bank, so what you will do, you will give a money to your bank। आप 20 रुपीज अपने बैंक को देते हो, दैट इज योर बैंक अकाउंट, योर नॉट योर अकाउंट, इट्स अ बैंक अकाउंट। ठीक है, सो व्हेन यू ट्रांसफर 20 रुपीज टू राहुल, इनिशियली यू ट्रांसफर 20 रुपीज टू बैंक। पहले बैंक चेक करता है कि आपके पास 20 रुपीज है कि नहीं, इट्स योर बैलेंस इज अवेलेबल, or you have 20 rupees in your balance or not. If yes, it will be transferred to your bank account, or basically the bank has its own account, let's say. Then it will, bank A will give a notification to bank B that I need to transfer money. So your bank A will transfer 20 rupees to bank B। Then bank B will do a validation कि ये बंदा है कि नहीं, ये मेरा बैंक में है कि नहीं, या इट्स जेन्युइन अकाउंट, एक्टिव, फ्रीज तो नहीं है। इफ एवरीथिंग गोस फाइन, इट विल ट्रांसफर द मनी टू राहुल अकाउंट। आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से हियर? एक मोटा मोटा समझ आया क्या क्या मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ, हाई लेवल? दिस इज हाउ इन रियल लाइफ द बैंक्स विल डू। आई हैव गिवन अ वेरी सिंपल वे, बट इट इज मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स, बट हाई लेवल ऐसा ही होता है। Clear? Yes or no? Anybody? Now why I'm saying this. So let's say देखो ऐसा आपको लग रहा है कि यहाँ से यहाँ पैसा जा रहा है, राइट? बट इन रियलिटी यू आर अपडेटिंग योर अकाउंट. ये टेबल है आपका, या बैंक का भी खुद का एक टेबल होगा, बैलेंस शीट्स. यहाँ पे भी बी का बैंक का बैलेंस शीट होगा या टेबल होगा, और राहुल का अकाउंट का भी टेबल होगा. नाउ व्हाट डू यू थिंक, जब हम यहाँ से यहाँ ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो, ऑल दिस टेबल शुड बी अपडेटेड, यस और नो? All this table should be updated. If everything goes fine, if the transaction happens successfully, so what will happen? This table will updated as a final amount as 20. बैंक का जितना भी है, बैंक का तो करोड़ों में होगा, that has to be updated plus minus, addition remove, here also plus minus, and here you have to add that 20 rupees and give a final amount. But what if Rahul bank is account is not working? Somehow there is some issue. What do you think, this three tables should be updated or not? Or if it's updated, you have to revert back. What do you think? राहुल के बैंक में पैसा नहीं जा रहा है, बट आपके अकाउंट से पैसा कट गया या बी के अकाउंट में चला गया, ये हो रहा है, तो क्या होना चाहिए? रोल बैक? और इन अ सिंपल वे, या तो चारों टेबल अपडेट हो एक साथ, मतलब सक्सेसफुल हो, या तो मत ही कर सक्सेसफुल, या तो सक्सेस हो सारा का सारा एक साथ, या कुछ भी अपडेट मत कर. चलेगा ना एक बार के लिए? ऑल और नथिंग समझ आया? या तो चारों एक साथ अपडेट कर, या तो मत ही कर. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? जैसा ना किसी को समझ नहीं आया तो बताओ. दिस इज कॉल्ड एसिड ट्रांजेक्शंस. इट इज जनरली यूज इन बैंक्स or in transactions where multiple tables needs to be updated simultaneously, or if any issues happen, don't update any of the table. So here in Dynamodb also it supports as a transaction. So Dynamodb transaction provide developer automaticity. What is the full form of ACID? Automaticity, consistency, isolation, durability. So automaticity means transaction all or nothing. Consistency, only valid transactions are saved. Transactions do not affect each other. Durability, rights are not lost. So read and write multiple item across multiple table as a all or nothing operation. ठीक है, मैं राइट कर रहा हूँ और अपडेट कर रहा हूँ मल्टीपल टेबल्स को एट द सेम टाइम, या तो सारे एक साथ राइट हो या एक भी राइट नहीं हो. फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजेक्शन, योर ऑर्डर fulfillments. Okay, so two underline reads and write एक साथ, मतलब multiple writes and read एक साथ. So you can go up to 25 items to be updated simultaneously. मतलब आप 25 tables या 25 items update कर सकते हो simultaneously, or up to 4 GB of the data or 4 MB of the data. Okay, that's the limit of DynamoDB. Then coming to the key value pair. Now this is important to learn. Primary key. What is primary key? I told you each record in DynamoDB required a primary key, the key on the basis of which the data stores the DynamoDB stores the data. On that primary key it searches the data. So DynamoDB store and retrieve data on the basis of primary key. When you create a table, in addition to table name, you have to provide a primary key. It's a mandatory. A primary key uniquely identify each other in the table so that no two items can have same primary key. So always remember, primary key unique रहेगी, दो रिकॉर्ड की प्राइमरी की सेम नहीं हो सकती. इट्स जस्ट लाइक अ यूनिक आईडी. आपका रोल नंबर, आपका ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस नंबर, आपका आधार कार्ड नंबर, पैन नंबर, एंड सो ऑन. इट शुड बी यूनिक. योर मोबाइल नंबर. कैन अ person, can two person have same mobile number? Possible? So answer is no. Can two person have same email ID? No. So you have to understand what is primary key. It should be unique. Unique. So Amazon has two type of primary keys. One is partition key and other is composite key. So composite key is a combination of partition plus sort key. So what is partition key and what is composite key, we will learn about in 1 second. So prime partition key. So why the word is named as partition key, I will quickly will explain you. So what Amazon DynamoDB does, अगर आप डेटा स्टोर कर रहे हो, लेट्स से आपने ये रोल नंबर दी है 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 एंड सो ऑन, अगर आपने ऐसा डाला है तो अमेजोन क्या करता है, जब डेटा स्टोर करता है इट क्रिएट्स बकेट, लेट्स से बकेट नंबर 1 2 3 4 5 या 4 buckets. Okay, so Amazon has taken 4 bucket, or now it will start dumping the file in this bucket according to some algorithm. क्या एल्गोरिदम है? लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल कि जो भी वर्ड है वो 4 के मल्टीपल में होगा तो इसमें जाएगा 0 1 2 3, ये नाम दिए, अगर 4 की टेबल में जो जो आ रहा है वो इसमें जाएगा, सो 4 इधर इधर जाएगा, 8 इधर जाएगा, राइट। 4 जो 4 की टेबल में नहीं है, प्लस अगर +1 कर रहा हूँ, so moreover if you divide this value with 4, so if you divide this value with 4, what is the remainder? 1, right? So this value will go here. What will be the remainder if I divide this by 4? 1, so it will go here. What will the value if I divide this value with 4? The remainder is 2, so this record will go here. So that's why the partitions are created. Basically मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, कुछ records को group कर रहा हूँ together, partitions बना रहा हूँ, group, right? That is a partition key. This is how the Amazon DynamoDB stores the data. It is a unique value, customer ID 1 2 3 4 5 6, personal ID, product ID, email ID, vehicle registration number. These are the quite example of partition key or unique key. The value of partition key in the input of an internal hash function, ये hash function use होता है, which determine which partition or physical location on which the data is stored. So basically कौन से storage पे store करना है ये record को. So if there are 3 partition, you can assume 3 factor, 3 से divide कर दो. So let's say 100 है. If you divide 100 with 3, the remainder is 1, 0 1 2. So 100 will be stored here. That's why Amazon DynamoDB has a very fast search engine. It knows the record, where the record is stored, in which partition. Okay, वो कौन से partition में कौन सी file में record store किया है, because it is using some internal hash functions. There are many algorithms which helps to determine कि कौन से file या कौन से partition में data store करना चाहिए. So each record, each items are stored in different partition. That is why it is called partition key. समझ आया? बेसिकली मैं कह रहा हूँ कि डिपार्टमेंट वाइज डिवाइड कर रहे हैं डेटा, राइट? हम लोग करते हैं ना, डिपार्टमेंट वाइज डिवाइड कर दो लोगों को या स्ट्रीम वाइज डिवाइड कर दो, वैसे ही हम लोग डेटा डिवाइड करते हैं. If you are using a partition key as your primary key, then no two item can have same partition key. Clear? It's a unique value. Now this is example, person ID, person ID, person ID, and you can enter any number of, apart from that any number of attribute, apart from that any number of attribute. Now composite key, tell me, do you think every time you will find a prime unique key in your data? Take an example. Roll number. So roll number generally starts with which value? 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. 20 roll number. This is class A. Yeah, or let's say yeah, class A. Class B में भी ऐसे ही होगा roll number. Same thing, right? क्लास सी एंड डी विल हैव सेम वैल्यूज, रोल नंबर तो ऐसे होते हैं ना. Okay. Now, can I store all this information in a single table? Yes or no? Can I use this a primary key as a roll number and store all the information in same database? Yes or no? अगर मैं रोल नंबर को प्राइमरी की ले रहा हूँ तो सब देखो, एक ही रोल नंबर चार लोगों को असाइन हो रहा है क्योंकि चार क्लास है, राइट. डुप्लीकेट एंट्रीज नहीं, मतलब पॉसिबल ही नहीं है ना. किसी को समझ आया नहीं आया तो बताना. सो हाउ कैन आई ओवरकम दिस थिंग? सो Amazon has given a second option कि एक और आप की यूज कर सकते हो. So you can use two keys. So I can define primary key as roll number, and second is class as a sort key. So if you see here now, combination of roll number and class is unique, right? Same thing if I go here, instead of A I can write B. So इन दोनों का combination unique है ना, देखो, right? So if in this scenario where you don't have a primary key but two keys combined create a unique key, दो कॉलम मिला के यूनिक की क्रिएट कर रहा है. देखो ये क्लास भी रिपीट हो रहा है और रोल नंबर भी रिपीट हो रहा है अगर आप ऐसे देखोगे तो, राइट. बट इन दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन, दो वैल्यू का कॉम्बिनेशन यूनिक है. दैट इज कॉल्ड कंपोजिट की. दैट इज कॉल्ड कंपोजिट की. सो इन Amazon you can create a composite key, so with two values. composite की मतलब दो कीज को मिला के आप एक की बना सकते हो, on up to two keys. So that is, yes, and it will create a unique value. So one is partition key and other is called sort key. It's okay. So like username, user post with multiple message, user ID and sort key, timestamp, artist and song. This is a good example. Artist and song. एक गाने को एक गाने को चार आर्टिस्ट गा सकते हैं और एक आर्टिस्ट चार गाने बना सकता है, पर दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन एक ही रहेगा कि एक आर्टिस्ट और एक गाना कॉम्बिनेशन यूनिक रहेगा, राइट. एक गाने में एक ही आर्टिस्ट, मतलब आर्टिस्ट होगा ना. एक गाने में चार अलग अलग सिंगर हो सकते हैं और एक सिंगर अलग अलग गाने गा सकता है, बट कॉम्बिनेशन सिंगर और आर्टिस्ट का कॉम्बिनेशन यूनिक ही रहने वाला है. ओके. यूनिक कॉम्बिनेशन. item in a table must may have same partition key but must should have a different sort key. All the items with the same partition key are stored together and then sorted according to the sort key. So this is how the data are stored. So you can see artist, no one knows you. Okay, artist, no one knows you. Song title, my dog. Same artist, no one knows you. Song title, somewhere down the road. ऐसे. So combination 2 can be used. Yeah. Anybody any question till here? So I'm stopping here. We have one more session is required to complete the RDS, more theory. So let me just show you how can you create a partition key. Okay. So let's delete the student table or create another table as student one. std roll number and class, both are string. Just create item, Now you can see you have to pass both the value, roll number 1, class 1. I'm not passing any other values. You can add more values here. Create new item, roll number 1 but class 2. Create more value, roll number 2 class 1. You can see. But if I'm trying to create again same value, roll number 1 class 1, it will give me an error. That value already available in the system. So roll number 2 class 2. So you can see roll number 1 but class are different, roll number 2 class are different, or vice versa, same class different roll number. This two should have a unique value combination. These two should be unique. That's it. Got it. So I'm stopping here. A little advanced DynamoDB is required. Moreover, it's a theory. Okay. So I'm stopping here. Advanced DynamoDB is remaining, and little bit about EMR and Redshift and Elastic Cache. One session is more than enough.